I want to talk about controllers today. I made a post on social media that I think was quite misunderstood a few days ago. I'll read it to you. Do most DJs know there's not much practical a controller can do that skilled OG DJs couldn't already do with records? Some people thought I was hating on controllers or people who used them or suggesting you're not a real DJ unless you use records. Nothing could be further from the truth. I've always been about programming. I mean, that's what makes a DJ. I don't care what tools you use to put out your set, but just so the tracks are right, it's good. I mean, I'm not hung up on your technique, I'm not hung up on your equipment, and I'd never, ever suggest you're not a real DJ unless you use records or something ridiculous like that. I'm just not that dude. What I was saying is exactly what I said, which is, it seems like the controller fundamentally is two turntables and a crossfader and volume controls simulating two record players and a mixing board. When you boil it down, take all the effects away and the little pads and all that stuff, it's what it is. I mean, really. When I think back to when Serato Scratch Live came out, man, that was like science fiction. That was so cool. Because it blended the world of turntables and MP3 and computers. So you didn't need two copies of a record anymore to create a loop like you used to. And much like when CDs came on the scene, it was amazing how easy it was to cue the beginning of a track. And I'm not suggesting that it was hard or anybody who's using a controller couldn't figure out how to do it. All I'm saying is that it took a little bit of practice to do well. The first thing you had to do on your headphones is find the track that you wanted to play. So let's just jump into the record here. Let's find a track. Okay, let's say we wanted to play that one, right? That's how you had to do it. You had to backspin it and get it ready to go. Like this, okay? Sometimes we would do this. We would cue the track and wait for the track you were currently playing to be over, move the crossfader over, and on beat, hit this button. But did you notice it was a little slow right there? If I go like that, it's a little slow on the startup. So you had to kind of know to go back a little further and give the deck a little time to get up to speed so it didn't give you that effect. So you kind of had to time it right. And now that's what you would do like as a mobile DJ, just playing tracks back to back. But if you want to throw a track in, the other thing is the pitch. If you move the pitch down or up, you also change the key. On a controller, it's really cool that you've got a feature like, the key lock. I own controllers. I've used controllers. I've got stuff back in storage that goes, back to maybe 2010 or earlier than that. But they all kind of do the same thing that the brand new ones do. I mean, really, it's two jog wheels. It's the mixer in between. It's the pitch. There's a few cool buttons and effects on there. What's the new controller doing that your old controller didn't do? Why do you gotta have this new controller? I understand some people just like new things. That I get. Some people like to have new cars, the latest and greatest. But, why do we keep getting these new controllers out? What are they doing that the old ones didn't do? Aside from compatibility, is there anything new these controllers are doing that the old ones didn't? I'd like to know. And here's the other thing that just confuses me. Alright, so I understand Serato Scratch Live, what the deal was with that. It blended the two worlds like we mentioned earlier. And the first controllers came out and kind of did the same thing. Two platters or decks or whatever in the mixer in between. Pitch control, all that stuff. Let's fast forward. What has it been? Probably a good at least 15 years since the first controllers came out with the two platters and the mixing board. To me, that always felt like training wheels going from the record world to the digital world. It was more of a linear adjustment, if you will, going from records to digital. But that was a long time ago. Why are we still wearing these training wheels of two platters and a mixing board on a controller? Why haven't we moved forward to something different that does something different or allows us to do something different than two platters and a mixing board in between, either on a controller or in the software? That part I find just very confusing. If we're moving forward, why aren't we doing anything different? Because until we do something different, we're just simulating records, and that's okay. But again, my question, and please let me know in the comment section, what do these new controllers do that your old controllers didn't do? Let me know. That's it. I'm going to end this video. I'm just curious, not hating on anybody. It's just a question. So, take care, guys. We'll see you soon. Thank you so much for your likes, comments, subscriptions. They mean a lot. I appreciate you. Practice and enjoy.